Alright guys, so we're now able to submit messages to our application. Now what we want to do is implement the username and the login. So first thing we're going to do is go to our server.js file, and we're just going to go to where we have this add message, and we're going to add another parameter of username. Alright, and then we want to add to this object right here, username, set it to username. Alright, and that should be all we need to do here. So let's save that. Alright, and then what we'll do is go over to, let's go to our chat component HTML. And I want to put a login form up at the top here. So let's just put a div right here. We'll be adding classes and stuff probably in the next video when we work on the UI. Alright, so we'll put a label, username, and then an input. Let's give this a type of text. Okay, we want to give it, let's see, what else do we want to give it? Let's do ng model. And that's going to be set to username, and also a name attribute set to username. Alright, and then we'll put a line break and then a button. Okay, this button is going to have a click event, and we're going to set that to set username. Alright, so let's save that, and now you can see we get a form. It looks horrible, but don't mind that. We're going to fix that later. So let's go into our component TS file, and we're going to add a username property here, which is going to be a string. And I also want to have an alert property, and I'm going to set that to any. And we want to initially set that to false. Alright, now the alert, what that I want that for is when we submit a username, I just want to show a little alert at the top telling us that it's been set. Alright, now let's create a function down here called setUsername. And we're going to use our service here. We're going to say this dot underscore chat service dot set username, and then we're going to pass in this dot username. Alright, and then we'll set this dot alert to a string, and we'll just say username is set. Alright, and we'll save that. And then we'll go over to the service, and let's create a function here called setUsername, which is going to take in the username, and that's going to be a string. Okay, and let's do console.log, and we'll say username set, and then just concatenate that on. And now we're going to use session storage, which is the same thing as local storage, except it'll clear when you close the browser. So session storage dot set item. We're going to set an item called username, and we're going to set it to whatever is passed in as the username. Alright, and then we also want a get username function, and this we're going to return session storage dot get item username, and then we just want to go up to send message, and we're going to add in here another parameter of username, and we also want to add it right here. Alright, so we'll save that. Let's go back to our component. And now you can see we're getting an error here because send message is now expecting 2 parameters. So we want to pass along this dot username as well. Now up in ng on init, when the app loads, we want to get the username. So we'll say this dot username is equal to this dot underscore chat service dot get username. Alright, so that'll grab it from the service, which grabs it from local storage. Alright, and let's see. Now we want to go to the HTML, and we only want this stuff to show if the user has logged in. Alright, so what we'll do is put a div here, and we're going to say star ng if equals username, and we're going to wrap all of that, and let's put another div at the bottom, and we're going to say div ng if, and this one is going to be not username. So if there is no username, then we just want to say please log in to chat. Alright, let's also, well, actually we'll wait on until we get Bootstrap, but I want to put that in the center. So let's save that and go back, and you can see it says please log in to chat. Now if I'm to add a name here and submit, now you can see we can add a message, and we can then start to chat. Alright, and the last thing I want to do is just put the name there as well. So right here we'll put in a strong tag, and let's say message message dot username. Alright, we'll save that, and make sure that you restart your Express server. Okay, and we'll reload. Our name is still in local storage, and let's say hello, enter, and you can see now that the name is there. Alright, so that's it for this video. In the next video we're going to start to work on the UI. We're going to implement Twitter Bootstrap, and then we should be all set.